same bag, but in black that Kelly Rowland has.
Tell us the story. You can't just go, Kelly left my bag, and just like, next. Welcome to Left Side of Fashion, your fashion entertainment. In this segment, Eco AF, I, Bunny Yan, will be inviting students from around the world to share their kick-ass eco projects. Today we'll be joined by Corey. We are going to talk about, is luxury fashion able to be eco, or is that a myth?
My name's Quaisha Burns, but everyone calls me Corey. I'm from New York, Syracuse, New York, and I'm currently living in Paris, studying in Paris, and working in Paris.
You are relaunching your brand, Body by Corey, with fabulous design, which I will get to. But you started your collection with a line of vegan bags.
Yes, so I originally started as a haute couture brand, and I did clothing as well. And then it kind of morphed into vegan bags later on. This is the same bag, but in black that Kelly Rowland has. So
yeah, I took a snapshot of the clip that Kelly posted about your bag. If anybody who don't know who Kelly Rowland is, please Google that. And how could you?
Okay.
How did that happen? Please tell us the story. You can't just go, Kelly left my bag, and just like, next story.
Right? So I'm a huge fan of Kelly Rowland. I met her in New York, and I got a brief moment to talk with her, and she liked my bag. I was actually wearing the same bag. And then, I was kind of surprised when she posted it, and she kind of said, support Black businesses, and she really gave me a really good shout out, and I'm truly blessed for that, and I appreciate it so much. After she gave me a shout out, the bags actually sold out, so I don't have anything but the samples left. So.
Oh, I'm sorry, ladies or gents who want the bag, but you will do special order if there is enough, correct? Okay, yes. So keep your hopes alive. And that is not the first time your products brushed with fame at all.
I was in British Vogue 3 times for the handbag, and then 1 time for my clothing, like with the Kelly Rowland and with the Vogue magazine. It was a lot of legwork, and it didn't just like happen overnight. It was a lot of building up to that.
I know the success looks all great in glamour. People usually don't see all the hard work you put into.
Yeah, that's everyone think it's just glitter and jewels, but no, there's a lot of that work.
Luxury fashion. What defines it for you?
For me, it more so has to do with really conceptualizing a collection and not just making really quick stuff, fast fashion. And it's really in the details and how you make your garment. For me, and it comes with experience. Oh, that's my new collection.
Yes, yes, yes. And also to do with the quantity and how detailed you fit it to the person as well, correct?
Yes. So haute couture is like made to measure or bespoke. You can use both terms when thinking about that. It depends who you are. Some people say you can't, some people say you can. But all my pieces of clothing are made to measure, and then my such as handbags and wallets are produced, of course, they're one size. So I do with them.
Your designs got a lot more story to tell just by looking at the sketch. So from this, I see the heart and the brain.
Yes.
What's the idea behind that?
So the idea behind this collection, this is my collection for 2021. And for this collection, I tapped into mental health. And that kind of stems from my brand DNA of economics. So I developed my mind map and then eventually got down to mental health. And I decided to go with that because it revolves around my community as well as the world. And I think with COVID-19 going on and the Black Lives Matter police brutality and everything that's going on in the world, I think it's time to do a collection about mental health and really to push forward and addressing this topic, because a lot of people kind of don't really, in my opinion, address mental health as they should, probably because they don't know the signs of it, or they just don't know it's an issue until it's too late.
That's beautiful. So you starting a brand not only sustainable, but with an even bigger message behind it.
Yeah, of course.
Of course, you gotta do them all. And to dive into sustainability part, I have heard many designers going like, oh, I'm made to measure, I'm luxury fashion, so I cannot be eco, because you will have expensive fabric, glitter. So please walk us through, how do you make your design sustainable?
So there are different ways you can make your brand sustainable as a luxury brand. You can do the made to measure, like I'm only making a certain amount that I'm going to be sustainable, or you can actually look into fabrication. You can look into your packaging. So for me and my brand, we started in like 2014 with our first collection, and we were just dabbing into vegan fabrication to use, but not full force. So for this relaunch of this Body by Corey, we are looking into all aspects of sustainability. Yeah, that was one of our earlier pieces. I think 2015 that one was. So I really think it depends on the brand and how much they want to be sustainable. Like, do you want to be sustainable all across the board, or do you just want to try a few things to see if it works? But I definitely think that eco fashion or being sustainable can definitely work in luxury field. You just have to be conscious. Like,
I think one of the first steps you said, I totally resonate with, is that you find dead stocks. When you make certain things, you're gonna have leftovers that you have no idea what to do with. Now, sometimes for a small designer, it might be a meter or two. Now, if you have a collection that you bought bulk, you're gonna have a couple of rolls, a couple of hundred, even 1,000 meters of fabrics as dead stocks.
so for me, since I'm in Paris, I started looking at dead stock at fashion houses. Yeah, Paris. So I started to look into dead stock at fashion houses, and then I came across smaller companies that get dead stock fashion houses, so you don't, as a small designer or emerging designer, have to go into these fashion houses. You can work through like the middleman.
There's actually a lot more than just manufacturer designer. There are a lot of people in between, between the transportation agents, dealers, and maybe secondary agents, depends on if you have a shop for fabric or not. There's so many aspects that get together to make the whole circle a bit more sustainable, not just one person. Jacket that you're wearing, it's your own piece, is correct.
Yes.
Vote, girl, vote. Hey, Tell us about that jacket.
So it's a deconstructed blazer. I'm not sure if you can see all of it, but like the side comes down. I added my little embellishments because I do beading as well. And I added some recycled beading and materials. And yeah, it's just something I whipped together in a day.
Oh, you guys heard that? It's just something she whipped together in a day. Hey.
This was a really fun piece for me. I did it on the glass ceiling, like in the workplace for women. And I always try to do something that's meaningful with each of my collection. And I use a lot of recycled materials, and then I like cut the glass. So it's a really fun project for me. And on the side, it has beaded glass particles. So.
Oh my God, how long does that piece to take to make?
This one took me about a month and a half. It took a little longer.
How long does it take from, you know what, I'm going to rebrand my collection to launch?
Next year, so like 1 year from now. Mm-hmm. So I started developing the relaunch collection a few months ago, I think in March. And for me, when developing a collection, like I was saying before, like the meaning was very important to me. So I start with research. Before I even do a mood board or color inspiration or look at the trend, I like to do the research. Like for this collection that I'm developing now, I did research based around mental health, like current mental health, back to like the Stone Age mental health. So that research took quite some time. And then from that research, I do the color trends, the mood boards, and the sketch walls, and then the final garment. So that's like the process I go in. And I think a lot of designers do research before they do their mood board. Don't quote me on that, but.
I like that. The very first, I remember back in the days when I first started any collection, there weren't a lot of hearts behind it, I have to say. It's more about looking at different designs, like what inspired me, the colors, the trend, like details like such, putting them together. I love it how you started first with what you want to say.
I think like taking your time with a collection, because designers are so rushed. They're producing so many collections throughout the year. And I feel like they're not as good as they could be if you would just take your time and drop your collection when it's right.
I think we also get like really scared and knocked down by the industry itself to be like, oh, you know, would this sell? How much would it produce? You know, it just knocked down your creativity to the point that it just commercialized thoughts. I love sharing stories like you to inspire others about how they can rethink what they've been taught, what's the schedule, what's the seasons that restrict our creativity. And in Left Side of Fashion, we encourage all of these collaboration and resources. And from all the episodes, which one resonated with you the most?
I would say your recent one is a straw. Like you showed a piece with this, I think it was Korean, was it a Korean straw jacket?
Oh, the Japanese straw cape thing?
Yes, it was huge, it was gorgeous, and it was intricate. I adored it. That's kind of like my style. I like to give those details, and I could just tell it was heavy. You said it was heavy, and I believe you.
Oh, that seems hella heavy.
I want to shout out my two favorite New York stylists, Shanice and Brian. I think they'll be on your show next. And my two favorite fashion designers, Mar and Desiree. They will also be on your show next.
Lovely, lovely. Sustainability, it doesn't just have to be considered on the content of the material. It's also about the sourcing and how it come about. And we can all be eco as